It's now time for NRG This Week. NRG stands for Network Referral Group. To learn more about NRG, go to their website, NRG.Online. It's now time for another episode of NRG This Week.
Hey everybody, Mike Weiner here, NRG This Week. It is January 22nd, 2025, right around 3 p.m. Eastern. I do not have my partner, Leon Thomas, here today. Lee and I have a long friendship of about 25 years, and I'm going to be holding down the reins. We do have a NRG member that we're going to be chatting with here in a couple minutes. If you're not familiar with NRG, we started the company 25 years ago, and you can reach me one of three places: the website, which is NRG.Online, my email, which is mike@networkreferralgroup.com, or my cell number, 443-756-9656. Super stoked about the year. We've got a lot going on in conjunction with the 25th anniversary, including a revenue share, an opportunity to qualify for a cruise. Two big events you may want to jump on, even if you're not a member. January 31st at 4 p.m. Eastern on my Zoom, which will be 367-333-9689. We're going to be talking about the cruise. We have a sales coach, Phil Whitebloom, will be chatting about why you want to be on the NRG cruise. It's different than a personal cruise. You can rub shoulders with the movers and the shakers of NRG, the top leaders. I will be there. Tanya will be there. Lori Lundeen will be there. And we want you there. So definitely reach out to me about that. Jump on the event on the 31st. We also are announcing our next extravaganza, spring 2025 NRG extravaganza. That will be on March 21st, 2025. It's a Friday, 1 to 4 Eastern. Kiki Clark is going to be my keynote speaker. We do have sponsorship opportunities available. We're going to be doing also 3 breakout rooms. It is networking on steroids. It's amazing. That is coming up, so reach out to me about that. But I'm really excited. Joanne joined about 2 weeks ago. She's out of the Florida area. I think the whole country is cold right now. We had a wind chill of 0 here in Maryland, and I know in parts of Florida they've had snow. They've had 29 degrees. It's been really cold. But let's bring out Joanna, and we are going to talk. And she's an amazing new member of NRG. I know it's cold down there in Florida, not quite as bad as Maryland. And how are you doing today on this 22nd day of January? Just flying through another year.
Yeah, I'm doing great. Happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to get going.
My pleasure. My pleasure. You know, I think you've been with me about 2 weeks. I think I'm correct.
Mhm.
It's been about 14 days. And when, you saw the meeting, you came out, you were super excited. You joined on the spot. We are going to talk about that a little bit later in the show. But my initial impression of you was you were very coachable. You wanted to learn. You wanted to network. And I knew you were going to give it your amazing effort. You've already brought a visitor out to Philly today, and she's very close to jumping in. We'll be following up today. Had a great follow-up with Rebecca. But Joanne, take 2 minutes, talk about your company. What if you met someone on an elevator and you had 2 minutes from the elevator going down and door opening? What would you say to them? Give us kind of a big view picture of what your organization does.
Yeah, well, I'm the founder of Sensational Students Occupational Therapy. Our goal is to help every student shine. I coach parents and children that are struggling in school and learning challenges associated with ADHD, high functioning autism, or dyslexia. I teach you through, I have a 5-step program, Skyrocket Success, that I take you through. It's a 90-day program. And we get you and your child on the path to success. It's a heartbreaker for me that students are going to school every day and they're struggling, and they don't have the tools, or the tools are not being implemented in the correct way for them to thrive and be successful. And it shouldn't be like that. Children need to be happy, and they need to be given the tools to succeed so that they can be successful adults and entrepreneurs like we're doing here. Right. And that is what I do. I'm super passionate about it. And I'm here to help in any way that I can.
Absolutely awesome. Appreciate that. What year did you start the company? How long? I don't think it's been that long. Can't remember offhand, but how
No,
long have you been doing this?
you're right. So, I mean, I've been in business. I've been doing my job. I've been in an OT for 10 years and in the field for 15 years, working with children with special needs and their families. And my company, Sensational Students, has been going for 2 years now. So we're new. I started building local following, and now just I need to get worldwide. This is a big problem, and I need to help as many as I can.
Well, you've come to NRG. We're local, we're national, we're international. I'm actually going to a conference in Colorado shortly, and I just ordered 1,000 business cards, and I put on there NRG, the premier local, national, and international networking organization. So, with you looking to expand internationally, we have the international meeting on Mondays at 11. We have someone from India that was on today. I think is pretty good chance he'll be coming aboard. UK, we're already in Canada and Mexico. What was your motivation to start the company? There's usually a backstory of what motivates someone, Joanna. And what was it in your life that motivated you? I love what you're doing. No one has come to me doing what you do. I think it's really cool. And I know you and Tanya have had some great talks. What was it that motivated you to put your organization, your company together?
Yeah, great. I've always been motivated to help the kids out there live fulfilled lives and be happy despite any diagnosis they might have, or neurodiversities they may be experiencing, right? And it really just, I was seeing kiddos in person in the clinic, chatting with their parents before or after, really quick before they had to get out and get to the next, pickup location they needed to be at. And it wasn't enough. I'm like, this is not making the change I need it to make. So that's why I started Sensational Students, to really make that change and make that impact. Like I said, it's heartbreaking seeing kids struggle, and that just leads to mental illness, poor self-esteem, lack of confidence, and that's just no good. you know we're put on this world, we want to live happy lives, right? So I'm here to help you do that. That's what I want. I want people to be happy. You're not here to go to school every day and be sad and depressed and anxious because you don't know how to do your assignments, and then that carry over into your home and your family. You don't want a family as a parent with a child who's unhappy. Your goal for them, your sole goal, if I ask, what's the goal for your children? Be happy, right? So that's what's the most important, and that's motivating for me.
I love it. That's absolutely awesome. And you can feel your passion, your commitment, your conscientiousness to impact these kids' lives. And I don't think parents and adults often realize, I mean, we're shaping these kids, and you're going in there, there's a very definitive need. What would you, without mentioning obviously a kid's name, give us a success story, a testimonial about what you've done, boy, girl, and I do want you to cover the ages that you cover. If there's a low age and a high age, kind of answer that, but then give us a success story of what you've been able to do with a particular child, whether it was increase whatever by 100%, or help them get over depression. And I know we probably shouldn't use clinical terms, but give us how, the age bracket that you work with, and then a success story that you've had recently.
Yeah, great. So I do work with within the age bracket, right? I work with children of all ages of many diagnoses. My youngest right now is 2, and I've worked with kids up through 18. Um, Honestly, the best thing is when they just give you that look and they say, "I did it. I did it." That is my biggest success when they say that, or they smile at me, or mom comes in and said, "Guess what? We got an A in math." Like those are the successes that keep me going, that really fill my emotional cup. Um, and even when I see mom and child right after maybe the child had a test in school and they used the study skills I gave them to study and the study strategies, and we got 100 on our spelling test, and I see them, both of them happily, attending in on a Zoom session. I work virtually or in person, coming to me. I feel the happiness kind of radiating off of them, like, oh, this is going to be a good one, and they say, we did it. We figured it out and we didn't fight. And you can just tell the difference in someone who's kind of living a happy life and eliminating stressors versus who's not. And
That's
that's the
awesome.
feeling
That's
I'm looking
awesome.
for.
So, we're doing this show live, but it does go on the NRG YouTube channel. It goes on Facebook and LinkedIn. Let's say someone's watching this right now, or they're watching it in a week, or a month, or a year. What are some of the situations when they've got a child? What kind of child are you looking for? And you've kind of already covered it, but maybe even a little more specific. If their child shows symptoms of this, and this, or they've been diagnosed with autism, kind of give us a big picture on when you would be able to help that parent out. Because again, they may be watching this right now where it's freezing in Florida, Maryland. They may be watching it in 6 months from Hawaii where it's 100 degrees. What are some of the areas where the parent would go, "Oh my God, she talked about this. I need to get my child with Joanna."
Yeah, great question. So, again, yes, if you get any type of diagnosis, sometimes teachers will point this out to you as a parent. They're really struggling with writing or they're struggling with reading. If this is something you're told when your child is in kindergarten or first grade, jump on it as soon as possible. Don't wait. Oh, they'll improve, they'll get better. Yes, everyone's going to improve and get better with practice, but do not wait on this. Definitely consult, call me up. Let's just have a chat. Because waiting is probably the worst thing you could do, because then the kids will get through, they'll get pushed along in elementary school. There's a lot of supports in elementary education, and then they hit middle school. And there's a lot more changes in middle school. You're usually in different classrooms, you have different teachers. There's a lot of different ways each classroom is run that needs to be managed. And that's where things start to hit the fan. You'll start noticing behaviors. You may notice just a little regression or withdrawal from interactions, maybe interactions with you or interactions with friends. You may even notice some signs of depression or anxiety kind of building up. I even say sometimes too, if you notice like meanness, sometimes making not so nice comments, being unkind is usually a sign that something is going on, and certainly seek out help right away. Life's too short to waste.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you're in Florida. If someone sees this in, let's just say, New York, do you do Zoom sessions as well? Is that a big part of I know you want to grow nationally, internationally. So if someone is in a different state, I understand when you can get with them live, but what is Zoom something that you're able to do and do it effectively to help that child out?
Absolutely, yes. I am a fully virtual service. If you are not in my general area, so do not hesitate on that. I help people out over Zoom, and my 90-day program, Skyrocket Success, can be done one-to-one on Zoom in the group setting, or I can kind of self-pace and I send it to you on your own to work through videos, and we have some private calls along the way to really fine-tune your plan.
Awesome. All right, I'm going to have one more question for you, and then we're going to take a commercial break. I'm going to talk NRG. I like to do that right before the
Yeah.
break. I'm trying. Who was the one that referred you to NRG? I'm trying to remember. And
Tracy O'Hara.
Tracy O'Hara, she's amazing. Love her. Tracy referred you. I remember when you showed up at the meeting. And sometimes it's a little overwhelming for people. You get 3 referrals. Oh my God. And then you join and Mike blows your phone up. And, I don't know if you believed it because no one usually does. I blow your phone up with 30 referrals. And, all of a sudden you got your business it's moving, it's shaking, it's growing. You've been with me 2 weeks. There's people out there, they have not had a good experience with networking or leads groups. We are a professional networking organization. What would you say to the people that are out there? Two classes. They've been in a group that didn't work, or they've never been to a networking group at all. What would be your advice as far as what you've seen so far at NRG?
I mean, don't hesitate. What are you waiting for? Is really what I would say. I remember when I joined, Tracy had done a testimonial for you, just saying that the group, right? It's a powerhouse, right? And I associate with that word in general, just resonates with me. And then I joined it. I'm on 2 weeks, and it is absolutely a powerhouse. That's a strong word, right? That's powerful, and it's just great. I love it. Like the connections, the referrals, the ideas, the collaborations that are yet to come. I get so excited when I get referrals. I'm like, oh, let me get on the calendar. Let's go. Here we go. I'm just so excited. It just fills up so much energy. It's radiating. It's really great.
You just used 2 words, energy and radiant. And when you were on the Philly Zoom today and you had a visitor there, I mean, you could feel, I'm going to give you one of the biggest compliments I can give another person. I could feel your energy. And, my company is NRG. And if you say it fast, it's energy. And, I've been accused of being the Energizer Bunny. And I always kid, you don't need to plug me in to a wall outlet. I just get up and go. And your radiance and your energy, it's what the world needs so much of beside love, right? And we just need to love each other and help each other, inspire each other, educate. And when our Kiki does her speech at the extravaganza, it's about becoming the best you that you can be. And I really resonate with you, Joanna. And when I had an opening today, I'm like, I know who I want on the Zoom. And I reached out to you. I'm like, hey, I've got an opening. Can you jump on? Give me a second. Second later, you're like, I can jump on. And that energy is contagious and it can go viral. And in such a world where things are dysfunctional, and we won't even talk about that because I have a saying, shut up, turn off the TV, turn on your dreams. That was my quote in 2023. I decided not to quote in 2024. 2025 is the year of manifestation. And you know what? I manifested you somewhere because Tracy resonates energy. And Tracy, I'll tell you, she was skeptical when she joined. She asked me more questions than you did, more than most. But when she joined, she committed. And when you were there, you were like, I'm in. So I appreciate the answer. I'm going to have one more quick announcement, then we're going to go to a commercial break. And then we're going to continue asking you some amazing questions and getting some amazing answers. Racquetball Revival. That is Leon's baby. He works with kids between, I don't even know the ages, 8 to 50, 8 to 60. Leon's got me coming out and playing racquetball with him in a couple of weeks. I hope they don't take me away in a stretcher. I'm working out now. I'm trying to get more flexibility. I haven't played racquetball since my days at Towson State University. I graduated in 86. I'm 60 years old. I can move somewhat decent, but Leon, get ready for some racquetball, brother. We are going to play. So we are going to go to a commercial break right now. We'll be back to continue our great conversation with Joanna from a very cold Florida. She's at 29. I think we're at 18 degrees. We'll be right back after these messages.
At Rod's Car Repairs, we work on all cars, old cars, new cars, and your car. Car repairs by Rod.io.
Baked by Brianna has been your Baltimore hometown bakery since 1969. Located in Roxton Plaza, Baked by Brianna. Visit bakedbybrianna.io.
From the creative team that brought you The Browning Project and Dead by Morning comes a new thriller that will change the way you look at white-collar crime forever. Falling from the Sky.
Water. It's everywhere. We drink it, we bathe with it, we cook with it. Coffee's made with water. Toilets won't flush without it. It's used for washing clothes, dishes, utensils, pots, pans, floors, and our teeth. Plants and crops need water, animals drink it, and fish need it too. And don't forget, we can have a lot of fun in the water. Water. What will we do without it?
I'm Leon Thomas with the Leon Thomas Group. Podcast, virtual events, webinars, streaming shows, and so much more. We want to be your partner in all things virtual.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Mike Weiner here, NRG This Week, having a great conversation with Joanna. So we're going to bring Joanna back out and we're going to continue on. So during the commercial break, because I don't usually prepare my questions, I like to just kind of run with it. What would you say is the average length of time that you work with a student? I'm sure everyone's a little bit different, but is there an average? Is it 3 months, 6 months, a year, or is it just really dependent on the needs that they have?
Yeah, you're definitely right. It's definitely going to be dependent on the needs that they have. But typically, within 3 to 6 months of working together, you're going to start to see solid changes that are generalizing into daily life, that you don't have to cue so much. And sometimes that's all it takes, 3 to 6 months. Sometimes I'll stick with students through the school year, more like 9 to 12 months. And sometimes they'll come and go, right? As new problems arise and you need a little booster, come and get a boost.
Awesome. Question for you. Let's say a parent is considering coming to you, but they're not sure if they need you. Is there some things at home that a parent can do to really ascertain, hey, I'm going to need some help? Is there something they can do? Because sometimes you get stuff from the medical community and you're like, they're wrong or they're off or they like, well, maybe they're on the spectrum, but you just don't know. So what can a parent do to prepare maybe before they call you? Is there some questions they can ask their doctor? I know it's a loaded question. It's kind of a big picture question. I'm just kind of rolling with this, but are there things that a parent can do to properly prepare for the amazing Joanna?
Definitely just go ahead and call me up. But what I would say is you're the parent. Trust your intuition. You know when something's off or when something is not right. Those are your children. You're with them every day. Go with your gut, and just start calling. Like I said, just call. A lot of practitioners, even myself, they have complimentary connection calls or discovery calls, right? Go and do those. And it's okay if you call one person, you think you really like them and you're like, ooh, not so much. I'm not jiving with that energy. That's okay too. Trust your intuition and keep going. If doctors or professionals are telling you nothing's wrong and you're like, I just don't believe that, try someone else, right? Every practitioner is different. There's a full spectrum of people out there, and find the ones that resonate with you and are on your path.
That's awesome. Trust your intuition. That's what I got out of that. That's amazing.
Yes.
So let me ask you this. It's a newer question I've just started doing recently. What have I not asked you today that you would like to talk with the public about? Remember, this will be today. I don't know if we're putting this in a space thing and sending it up to Mars for when Elon Musk has robots up there. I'm hearing rumors about that. Hey, maybe we could get some NRG groups up there at Mars. What have I not asked you that this is your opportunity to talk about anything within your company that I haven't asked you? I'm sure I haven't asked you everything. So take 2 minutes and talk about something that you would like to chat about.
Yeah, well, the biggest thing is that I like to talk about are kind of like barriers, just like that last question, right? Trust your intuition. You know when something is wrong, and to not be scared, right? Everybody wants to thrive. Be brave. Be brave for your child and seek out the help that you need. I'm there to empower you to do this and just letting you know you can do this. That I feel is some of the biggest barriers to getting your child the help that they need is the fear of the parent, or the guilt or the shame they might feel as if they're the ones doing something wrong. And that's why their child may be acting out in school or not trying hard enough or not succeeding. Do not worry. You have nothing to be scared of. Be brave, make that call, and get the help. Like I said, life is too short to not have the tools to be successful and to not be living in happiness.
That's awesome. You know, I was surprised by your answer before. You've worked with kids as young as 2. That's
Yes.
absolutely amazing. 2 years old. What's the oldest you've worked? Have you ever had an adult call you, or an adult's parent or something? Have you worked with folks in their 20s and 30s and 40s?
Yes, I often get parents will kind of take the advice and the training that I tell them to do with their child, take it upon themselves. And I start all of my trainings with that. Even in my program, Skyrocket Success, my 90-day. If you can't make these changes for yourself, the changes for your child are not going to happen either. You need to experience it and see how it's going to benefit you so that you can better help someone else experience it.
Awesome. Now, I've really enjoyed talking with you. I'm going to ask you one other question. We're going to go sports, but you and I were talking before the show, and I'm not going to ask you baseball or football. And since the Bills did not win the game, the Ravens lost the game, I'm not even going there today. You mentioned that you like bodybuilding. I said I keep joking I'm going to be the next Jewish Arnold Schwarzenegger. Talk about bodybuilding. I've recently rejoined a gym because of the amount of Zooms that I'm on. When I go to the gym, Tanya got me for Hanukkah an ear set, and the headset, and I go Barry Manilow, I go disco, I go all kinds of music. I could do Pitbull. We saw Pitbull in Hershey Park. I've recently got into bodybuilding. Sometimes I like putting on AC/DC to that, just hard rock. Tell us a little bit about your bodybuilding. Is it something you've done for a while? I don't really hear women talk about that much. There was a wrestler, Ronda Rousey. Do you remember her? And she was like my favorite wrestler. I think she's retired. Used to be Hulk Hogan and all them, and then Ronda came along. But take a minute or two. We're going to wrap up with this question. Talk about bodybuilding, and I know like with Tanya, I'll try to have her do light weights. Is there some women do bodybuilding. Maybe there's a misconception about it. And I think for Tanya, she wants to do it more for toning, but I know I get a major endorphin kick. So talk about what that's like and kind of your experience with bodybuilding. How take 2 minutes, talk about that, and we're going to wrap up with something a little bit lighter. So tell us about bodybuilding a little bit and what you would recommend to the women out there and guys that are thinking about it, because I'm super excited about it. I'm now with the fly. I'm up over 100 pounds. I'm planning on getting to 230. So 2 minutes about that and we'll wrap up, Joanna.
Yeah, I recently just got into it. I needed, a new little fun passion project to run alongside growing a business. It's certainly a lot. You learn a lot about yourself. You learn a lot about consistency. And I mean, just lift those weights, man. Pick them up, make them heavy. It's a lot. It's really fun. I heard you mentioning some of your music. I am a soca music lover. If you haven't heard of soca, it's a Caribbean style music. Check it out at your next workout. But yeah, it really teaches you discipline, hard work, staying consistent. It's not easy. You have to push yourself a lot. And yeah, if you're interested in it, definitely get into it. Like I said, don't let fear hold you back from something or thinking that you can't do it, right? Just do it. It's fun.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I love that. No, it's Soko. Is that SOKO?
SOCA, soca music.
I'm gonna have to listen. I'm gonna have to look. It's probably on Pandora, right, along with everything else. So,
Yeah.
but
Yep.
I think business owners like you and myself, we need to find time just by yourself. And when I'm on the treadmill and I got my pit bull and my flow rider, my oldest son says, "Dad, it looks like Florida." I'm like Brandon, it's flow rider. He's like, "But Dad, it looks like Florida." I throw in the towel, but for all of you out there, it's really important to have that downtime. Yes, you can read a book, but you know what? If you walk on a treadmill or run or whatever and mix in some weights, I think that's great. So, Joanne, I thoroughly enjoyed talking with you. I absolutely love your energy and your vibration and your passion. It bleeds through, and you're. I may want to be you when I grow up. I don't know. I think I got you by a couple of years, but amazing talk today. Really doing a deep dive into what you do. So thank you for being here. Appreciate you being here. For everybody else out there, this is Mike Weiner. Reach out to me. Cell number. The best way to get a hold of me is texting me 443-756-9656. We're going to say sayonara. I don't think that's Zoko, but sayonara for now. Have a great week. We'll be back here next week for NRG This Week. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you.